Hello and welcome to the vlog this week. I have got a super busy schedule because in just over a week's time I'm getting ready to set up Art at the Altar, so it's all systems go on the Christmas front. I'm also going to be showing you 2 tutorials on how to make your very own hand-painted Christmas decorations, so stay tuned for that. But for now, it's back into the studio, let's get cracking. So I'm getting things started today by painting a seasonal hanging panel. Now these are solid wood and I found them in a UK art and craft shop called Hobbycraft. A lot of you will be familiar with that, but if you live overseas and don't have anything like that, I'm sure you'll be able to source something like this in your local art and craft store, or alternatively find them online. I'm giving them a coat of paint. Now the wood does seem to absorb the paint quite quickly, so it might need 2 or 3 coats before I'm ready to start the design. I'm really drawn to a vintage inspired colour palette for these sorts of pieces. I think it just is because it's nostalgic and reminds me of being a child at Christmas. All those colours sort of come to the fore again. So as you can see, I've painted in a white circle in the centre and I'll be adding some handwriting to that shortly. But for now, I'm just sketching in a very rough outline, sort of branches and sprays of foliage where there will be holly, mistletoe, a little Santa in the corner and a Christmas stocking. Okay, so I've just pulled up at Meadowhall. That's a shopping centre on the edge of Sheffield, and I've decided to come down because I've got that feeling of being a little bit isolated. So I've found in the past that just getting into a coffee shop for half an hour, being around people really helps to lift the spirits a little bit, and I can tie it in with some work, because what's happening at the moment, or what I've found this morning, is that my mind is absolutely spinning. I just feel like I'm so unorganised. Even though I'm quite organised, I feel like I need to get everything down on paper so I can start to tick things off. So get a nice list going, write down everything that I need to achieve and get sorted by next Wednesday. And while I'm here, I'm going to pick up a few little bits as well that I need. So, yep, got to find a nice coffee shop, treat myself to a nice cosy hot latte and get busy making some notes, empty my mind, getting a bit of clarity, and hopefully that'll refresh me and set me up for this afternoon when I'll be painting down in the studio. So I've just arrived home and I've had a delivery of the greetings cards that I ordered, and I'm really happy with them, especially the new packaging. Since I've chosen not to use cellophane envelopes anymore, I've discovered this idea of a belly band which you wrap around the card and the envelope, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased. I'm working on a small collection of Christmas decorations now, which are perfect for the Christmas tree. And again, I sourced these papier-mâché bauble shapes from Hobbycraft. I'm sure you can probably find similar local to you or online. I've given it a couple of coats of white acrylic to start with, and then I wrote a festive message across the centre. This one is saying Merry Christmas. And then using just a freehand design basically, I'm using a rigger brush to paint in some stems and foliage in green, and then I'll be adding sort of pine needles, eucalyptus, a bit of holly, and keeping my palette quite limited. So this piece is just greens, turquoises, and some juicy red berries to make the whole thing pop. And I'm going to do the lettering across the centre in red as well. It'll really bring everything together. Good morning. It's a beautiful day here in Sheffield, so I've decided to take advantage and come out for a short walk. I got up very early this morning actually. I was up at 5 o'clock, and as I was sitting there with my coffee, I was pondering all the things that I've got to do today, and I could feel my levels of stress kind of building. So although it wasn't on my to-do list to come today, because I do have to factor in things like yoga and walks and things like that, I decided to squeeze it in. I know how essential it is for me to get fresh air and just listen to the birds and be in nature, because when I get home I'll be a lot more productive than I would have been had I just dropped my daughter off at school and then got straight back into it. What happens for me is coming out into nature gives me the mental headspace, it clears the space, and it allows me to then move through my tasks with a lot more clarity and focus. I think when I'm stressed, I don't know if you're the same, I get really muddled and the anxiety builds, and I find myself almost short on patience and the temper rising, and then things go wrong inadvertently. You know, you spend too much time on something when you should be moving on to the next thing. So although it feels counterintuitive to take half an hour out of your day to come out and spend time walking when half of your mind is saying just plow on, get on with everything, it's actually the best thing to do. And for me, I've found it works so well for me. I get so much out of that short space of time that I deduct from my day, and I will probably achieve far more today than I anticipated by doing this right now. So I'm off for my walk. It's absolutely stunning, and it's just one of those days where you want to be outside anyway. So I'm going to go and enjoy myself and then get back to the house, pop the kettle on, make a nice cup of tea, and then get down to business.